I think it's just trying to be a friend. And it's not rocket science. It's very simple stuff. How about just getting to know the neighbours in your street? My particular street, my wife and I live in a street. It's a cul-de-sac. There are only 15 houses there. And we've tried to get to know who are the families there, what kids do they have, what's their background situation, where do they work, and just try to get to know them. I think too, trying to take up every opportunity for a conversation. This happened to me actually just last week, because at the end of our street, somebody moved into the house that's at the end of our street, and there was a lady. I don't know much about her, but she was painting her fence. And as I drove past, I just stopped the car. I jumped out and I said to her, "Hi, by the way, I'm Stephen. I live at number 15. What's your name? How are you? How are you finding this street?" Just a basic conversation. I didn't have to stop, but it built a bridge, a small bridge, but a bridge that I hope over the next few weeks and months to develop, and take any chance to just have a conversation. I have a dog, so I take my dog for walks. You come across loads of dog walkers, and I often say that my dog, Kelvin, his name is one of my greatest evangelistic assets, because I meet dog walkers, I talk about their dog, ask them questions, get to know them. In fact, sometimes you get to know the dog first of all. There's a big dog, a South African Ridgeback, living at the bottom of our housing area. And I've walked past this dog, stroked it a few times, and then one day I talked to the owner and I said to him, "By the way, I know your dog's name. I know it's Bella. I've never known your name, so who are you?" And we had a great conversation. And I told him I was a Christian. So just taking up conversations, being friendly with people, and being there for them. Most people, if you live in an area, most people will go through some kind of crisis. Be there for them. Don't be afraid to knock their door to say, "Is there anything I can do to help?" I mean, during the pandemic, we had an interesting situation where a lady in our street, her husband became very sick, and we knew he was sick because ambulances kept coming along. And of course, with the pandemic, people couldn't meet in each other's homes, or often folk couldn't go to work. So I just knocked her door one day, and I knew that she was caring for her husband. And I said, "Can I go shopping for you? Because you're obviously really busy with trying to care for your husband." And I did that repeatedly. It just built up a friendship. And sadly, he passed away. But a little while after the funeral, my wife and I were again walking our dog, and we saw her out in the street, and I just went over to her and said, "How are you doing?" And I could see the tears welling up in her eyes, and I said, "Do you want to talk about it?" And she invited us in. We quickly put our dog in our house, went back to her. She gave us a cup of coffee, and she just opened up about her grief and her hurt. And I just said at the end of the conversation, "Do you want me to pray with you?" And she said, "I'd love that." And she gave me a big hug afterwards and said, "Maybe you'll come back and pray again." Just show an interest in people, get to know them, be their friend. And it ends up being reciprocal. They can become your friend too. And just by doing that, by being a friend, by being genuinely neighborly, you can build up really good relationships.